Sure.
Welcome everyone to Change Talks. And Change Talks is a platform where we promote various impact stories of non-profit organizations, corporate bodies, business houses, and individual change leaders who are actually creating sustainable impact in the society through various ways. It may be healthcare, it may be education, it may be literacy, it may be many other ways what India is facing challenges on. Today we are having a session on impact of functional literacy programs in India, where we have a very interesting panel spreaded from literacy mission, from Rotary, from Human Up People to People India, and India at 75 Foundation, who are working tirelessly to implement the functional literacy programs across India, across various states, and targeting many beneficiaries. So, just to brief the context of today's webinar. You all know that in India there are around 287 million illiterate adults, which shares 37% of world statistics. And illiteracy in India has resulted to increase the employment across unorganized sectors, lack of access to entitlements, and imbalanced financial sustainability within family, which affected the economy of the country at large. So the key solution to address this concerning issue is providing education to the neglected or the unreached. So in India, many non-profit organizations, government bodies, corporates are working to counter this issue through various high-impact models, which has created sustainable impact at the grassroots. This webinar will provide a platform to those excellent organizations to share their model and impact they have created, which intends to boost the country's economy. So before starting, I would also like to introduce all the speakers. So I have a screen to share. And for a note to all the participants and whoever is watching us from the Facebook, you can put your questions in the Facebook comment portion, or you can just write your question in the chat box here in Zoom. Yeah. So we have a distinguished panel today, and starting with Mr. Ramesh Chandar, who is the executive committee member at Rotary India Literacy Mission. So Mr. Chandar holds a master's degree in business administration from FMS Delhi University, and has pursued and successfully completed an international training program as a certified life coach. He is into manufacture of firefighting equipment, including fire engines for Ministry of Defense. Mr. Ramesh is actively involved in other professional bodies, such as past president of Narayana Industries Associations. He is also on a managing committee of DAV School. He is currently the additional secretary general of Apex Chamber of Commerce and Industries, looking after ease of doing business there. Ministry of MSME, Government of India had appointed him as a member of State Level Advisory Board for Welfare of MSME Units. Past District Governor of our Rotary International District 3011 under the Total Literacy Mission of Rotary India Literacy Mission. He has been entrusted with the responsibility of looking after interaction with the central government for promotion of Rotary's literacy mission and ensures its success. Ramesh Chandar was the chairman of the first edition of Rotary India Literacy Hero Awards. He is an executive member of RILM and has been entrusted with the responsibility of driving adult literacy program Pan India as a chairman of adult literacy. He is the recipient of Service Above Self Award, the highest award of Rotary International for individual Rotarians. So thank you, sir, for joining us today at this panel. We have Mr. Manu Mayank, head of social impact and sustainability at Humana People to People India. Manu Mayank is working towards maximizing impact and making the organization sustainable through program innovation and building partnerships at scale for social, economic, and environmental change with women and girls at grassroots as key stakeholders. He has an international development experience across multiple countries in Asia, Africa, Oceania for the last 19 years with a focus on women empowerment. Manu holds a graduate degree in economy and master's degree in international development planning from the University of Queensland. So thank you, Mr. Mayank, for joining us today. So we have next Kumar Abhishek, who is the program manager at India at 75 Foundation, which is a foundation set up by the Confederation of Indian Industries. So Kumar Abhishek is a development professional working as program manager with India at 75 Foundation. Starting his career as a credit manager, he later worked closely with government for planning and managing public health programs. Currently, as skills and education lead, he designs and implements CSR programs. Abhishek has domain expertise on literacy, skills, public health, and financial inclusion projects with reputed Indian and international organizations. He has designed, managed, and monitored multiple stakeholder programs with corporate, government, and civil society. So thank you, Abhishek, for joining us today at this panel. Before starting, I would like to thank every participants who have joined from Zoom platform and from Facebook. We would like to thank you all for joining us today. So, starting with a note that I have already introduced all the speakers today. So I would also like to introduce the organization, but we would like to hear it directly from you. So can we start from Mr. Ramesh? If you can introduce your organization, the Rotary India Literacy Mission.
Thank you, Indranil.
Yeah.
I, as a part of Rotary International, where I am a member for last 35 years, Rotary International is an international organization whose stated purpose is to bring business and professional leaders in order to provide humanitarian and to advance goodwill and peace in the world. Our principle, we started about 116 years back, and we have our presence in 200 countries of the world with 1.2 million members. And if we come closer to India, in India we have a strength of about 150,000 Rotarian. Our spouses are also known as Rotarians, the young wing, Rotractor, which are in the age group of 18 to 28 years, and Interactor, that is from 9 to 14 years. So this is, and other than that, we have RCC, Rotary Village Corps. There we have, in the villages, we have our wings where we support them for their work. India has about 34,000 clubs, and we have, since it's such a diverse organization which has presence in 202 countries of the world, we have certain focus areas. Our focus areas of work are peace and conflict resolution, literacy is one of them, water and sanitation, disease prevention and treatment, medical health, maternal health and child care, economic and community development, and supporting the environment. So these are our this thing. So our main focus today is, since the literacy, that is what is I'm looking after also. We, in 2011 in Sri Lanka, when we had a conference, it was decided that we should work on literacy in a more concentrated manner. So 2014, the foundation of Rotary India Literacy Mission was launched, and we started working in Teach Vertical. So we have Teach Vertical, T-E-A-C-H. Teach is, in fact, we say when the T represent teacher training, and we have done about 70,941 teachers. Out of them, 23,502 outstanding teachers have been awarded with a recognized as Nation Builder Award. The teachers are the community which are building the nation, but that is also the most neglected community. If we have to see the standard of our education right, we have to start with the teachers. And then we have given training also to 47,539 teachers, where we have got collaboration with companies like Macmillan Chemistry and all this thing. So there we teach trainer, we train the teachers into how to do the better training. And then our second of the teach vertical is e-learning. Recently, in fact, we have signed a memorandum of understanding with NCERT, where our curriculum, which we have developed from class 1 to 12, will be given to the government. So all the government schools, they will be studying on the e-learning vertical, because after this pandemic breakdown, when all the school system is under pressure, we have given this program. And in fact, Ministry of MHRD, they were very happy about it. We have collaboration for this thing in state of Gujarat, Maharashtra, Punjab and and Madhya Pradesh. Then our next vertical is adult literacy. We have so far by our unique module, where we approach the schools and the student beyond class 7 to 11, they teach one adult in vicinity of their home, so that in and about we have developed certain special primers. Two primers are there with the help of one 45 minutes to 60-minute class per day. In 45 days, one is able to become a functionally literate. And in fact, our model is so successful that we have so far done about 87,870 adults who have been made literate, and a large number of them have cleared NIOS exam also. Then our fourth, when we say TEAC, C is the child development. In fact, the children who are out of school in the age group of 7 to 14, we have collaborated with certain NGOs. They prepare them for taking them back to the normal main school. So we have done about 37,436 students like that. And Happy School is a concept. And mind you, we are doing this work in government and government-aided schools. We have made 3,098 school as Happy School. There are 8 parameters on which we make, when they are there in the school, we consider this to be a happy school. First we have, the school should have a boundary wall. It should be well painted. There should be a gender segregated toilets for separate for boys, adequate water supply, and then special teachers. Teacher's room is also there. The playground, play equipment. So the clubs are assigned this task of making this school a happy school. And out of these 9 parameters, if a Rotary club does about 5 or more than them, then we give them a credit that they have made a happy school. And we have done almost about 4,000 happy schools. So this is our teach model. And I am here. If there is any query, we will talk about our model, and I will share my experience also. Thank you very much. Please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for sharing what Rotary India Literacy Mission do. So I would move to Manu. If you could slightly introduce the organization where you work and how it has evolved, and what are the diverse range of programs you are doing.
Thank you, Indranil, and hello, everyone. I work with Humana People to People India, and Humana India has been working since 1998. We work across 4 major thematic areas of education, health, livelihood, and environment. And at present, we are implementing around 70 projects across 14 states of India, directly benefiting over 2 million people annually. So under our education program, we have a component of improving the quality of primary school teachers, both in service and pre-service teachers. And we work with different state governments with their diets and getties, so that the learning outcome, eventually it is going to be measured as the learning outcome of children attending primary school. And these are the foundation years when the quality of teachers are very important for children to learn, and later on their foundation becoming stronger for better future results. Another program of ours is, we call it Kadam, which works with out of school children. So we we are working with 6 different state governments, with Department of Education and under SSA, where we provide bridge education to out of school children and then mainstream them into regular schools, and this program works with 7 to 14 years of age group of children. Now, one of the common denominators across children who are out of school is directly linked with the literacy level of their parents. And in majority of the cases, uh, the mothers are illiterate. So this became one of the foundations for us developing a program along with Tata Consultancy Services on women adult literacy. And we started the program in 2017. Till now, 1,30,000, more than 1,30,000 women have graduated the program. Um, and of course, like it has this has been a program, and I'll talk more about the program as well. Apart from these programs, and then we have a cross-cutting theme of women empowerment and skilling, which is across our four thematic areas for more holistic development of the community that we work in. So where we have education programs, we also bring in livelihood programs, or programs on environment, programs on preventive health or maternal and child health, tuberculosis, for a improved society, for a better development of communities that we work in. And so we do have programs. We are working with different state governments. We are working with corporate sectors. We do have partners, both domestic and international. And these are some of the different program lines. I mean, we do work with village development or community development programs under health as well. We have a major program on tuberculosis or maternal and child health, and preventive health as well. So these are some of the major program lines of Humana People to People India. And we are part of an international federation that goes by the same name of Humana People to People, and we are working across 43 countries around the world. So that's about Humana, Indranil. Thank you.
Thank you, Manu, for the excellent work your organization is doing. So I would move to Abhishek. So if you could brief what are the activities India at 75 do, and with more emphasis on how there is any collaborative efforts, if there is any, and that kind of. Yeah.
So thank you, Indranil, for the introduction, and hello to Ramesh sir and Mr. Manu. So India at 75 basically has its root in a pan-India consultative exercise initiated by Confederation of Indian Industry in 2008 under the guidance of late Professor C.K. Prahlad. The visioning exercise subsequently led to an industry-hemmed people's movement called India at 75 that works to catalyze fruitful collaboration between stakeholders. So after that visioning exercise, we have in past concluded many programs, and right now we are operating. One is our City Connect, one is Mission Blue Sky Cities. They both are related to inclusive urbanization. One is our National Volunteering Grid, where we have two separate components of volunteering and pro bono services, and one is functional literacy programs. So that's in brief about India at 75, and each of these programs have ways through which each one of us can participate in functional literacy program. It can be downloaded by anyone and operated to create an impact in its own ecosystem. City Connect and Mission Blue Sky Cities, these association can be found by any city illuminatory to undertake any initiative related to inclusive urbanization in their city. NVG, as on NVG, any NGO can register, any corporate can register for planning their volunteering activities to create a measurable impact. So this is in short about India at 75, and these are the major programs we were undertaken. And in past, we have undertaken a visioning exercise for many state governments also. We have also closely worked with NSDC. So that is in brief about us.
Great, Abhishek. Thank you for the introduction to everyone. So we have already started the questions coming in. So We will have a question and answering session at the end of this session, where our speakers can address all the answers and I will throw to them. So let us start with the panelist question answering session. So I would like to first go to Mr. Ramesh, sir. Could you please provide us some insights that the challenges of illiteracy which India is currently facing? What are the challenges you can brief us?
Thank you, Indranil. Well, one of the biggest challenges to motivate the adults to study, because due to the economic condition, say if by working 8 to 10 hours they are earning amount X, if they reduce it by 1 hour, that amount is reduced. So that is the that becomes the kind of a livelihood issue. That is one. And current challenge right now, I think that which is the biggest challenge everyone is facing is social distancing because of the distancing, because of the COVID-19 situation. We cannot implement because it is our program is based on one to one. So that is it is there. We are trying to develop now some uh, tools where we can take it this thing. Adult literacy, though we are having a largest population of the adult illiterates of world, as you stated, some 287 million. But right now, there is no scheme from the government which is addressing the adult literacy. Sakshat Bharat was there, Sakshat Bharat was there, so which was stopped in 2018. After that, so far, no scheme has come. Recently, one scheme has come, which is Parna Lakhina Abhiyan. It is also based on, in fact, we have also the same concept. So now when it starts implementation, how it comes, it will be seen. And we find that poverty, again, is a very big issue. I mean, there are other issues also like gender also, because especially for minority community, as they say, the ladies, they don't come out. In spite of your best effort, don't come out to study. So that as it is, that is one reason why the rate of literacy, though we are saying 74%, but in ladies, the female literacy rate is much lower. So these are the main challenges as we feel.
Okay, sir. Thank you. So, can we throw the same question to Manu? What about you think about the current challenges which India is facing in terms of illiteracy? Yeah, Manu, you are muted, I think. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
I'll build on the answer given by Ramesh, sir, that the challenges of while there are no schemes as such currently which incentivizes the literacy or a person being literate, at the same time and the programs that are being done by different non-profit organizations cannot alone reach this large number of 287 million. And as Ramesh has pointed out, that the rate of literacy among women, so two-thirds of this 27 million are women. And the rate of literacy among women, the national rate is 60, around 66%. But when we go to villages, it comes down to 55, 56%. And that should be taken also with a, not just with a pinch of salt, but a bag full of salt. Because there, again, it's the ability to draw one's name on paper. If that is literacy, then yes, the number of, or the 56% female literacy is fine. But if it is to write and identify the put on paper, then that the number becomes much higher. So outreach is one challenge that we have. So poverty is there, and women who are poor, they also want to be literate. So we have witnessed this when we implemented our program, that the outreach, the means of literacy is not there. And the demographic dividend that we are talking about in India becoming like a economic superpower, that will happen only when we have solved the issue of illiteracy, because literacy is directly linked with economic development, be it at the local level or at a regional or a national level. And therefore the programs need to be bigger. the programs, India needs to achieve scale, be it for national development or be it for achieving SDGs. So the scale cannot come alone by non-profits working in the area. It has to be a collaborative effort of the government, of the public and private entities, of civil society coming together, making it happen. Functional literacy should become or should be integrated in all development interventions that are being coming out in India. It should become the foundation of all development interventions that are being rolled out. So this is a major challenge of making it happen, of making the policy get implemented on ground. That's a very big challenge that we need to overcome.
Yeah, yeah, right. So, moving to Abhishek now. So, see, India already holds a position in terms of illiteracy in world ranking. So, what are the challenges and how these stakeholders, how government or how civil societies are taking these challenges and finding a solution? Means, what are the engagement purview of the stakeholders you consider? How government is addressing this challenging issue?
So, as rightly said by Ramesh sir and Mr. Manu, we do not have any national policy at this point of moment, and we have been listening. I mean, from last 1 2 years that there would be launch on 15th August, 26th January, and I hope that it comes on 15th of August because of this pandemic, we are going to lose whatever gains we have made through our Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan or our Sakshat Bharat, because this pandemic has brought the digital divide quite in the open. We also need hardware devices to access all those e-classes, and all those females and girls in smaller towns, I doubt they have that access or probably the know-how to operate Zoom or anything like that. There are many initiatives which still show, a rising hope that we can mitigate this crisis. Like in Andhra Pradesh, they have started a program called Amma Bodhi, where they are trying to tackle poverty. They are subsidizing below poverty line women to send their children to the schools. But then also it has to be coupled with the infrastructure. Because of this cash incentive, there will be massive spike in the number of enrollments. But how does the government respond to that thing? Because already we do not have schools with ample infrastructure. Second thing, which Ramesh sir mentioned quite early in the conversation, we need to focus on teachers and treat them the most important stakeholder in the entire education system. And the third thing, we also need to expand the purview of ITE, right to education, and it should be brought down to pre-primary education level also, because that is the foundation where one starts. And we also need to understand the learner's perspective, because bringing those adults, as Ramesh sir also rightly said, is to the classes is a lost day of wage for them. So we also need to say understand that what we are teaching them, are they apprehending it as a value addition in their life? And yes, I agree with all the participants that we all need to collaborate and leverage on our strengths, and alone not profits cannot deliver such programs of scale, considering the language barrier, considering the regional barrier, considering the cultural differences, vernacular content, for example. We are in great shortage of quality vernacular content. So all these things have to be done under the ambit of government.
Thank you, Abhishek, for the insight and your opinion for the stakeholder addressing the challenges. So, I would like to move on to Ramesh sir. How do you think that the functional literacy program could contribute to improve the adult literacy? Means how both these are connected, and how Rotary India Literacy Mission is doing it.
Well, thank you very much for asking this very important question. So, we are advocating, Rotary has a strength. We have done advocacy. In fact, the polio eradication is one example We were, in fact, one Rotarian somewhere in 1980 said that we will remove polio from the face of this world. He would have never thought that this will take so many years, but at that time people mocked at him also. But same experience, we are advocating with the government that they should come out with this program of adult literacy in a more structured manner. We are also approaching the corporates. We are in fact, any program of this nature, of this scale, needs a lot of money. So we have a separate wing. We have made a CSR wing. They are going to the corporates and trying to involve them as financially as well as for educating people. And then we are looking for the media support also. Recently, on 28th of June, we did a 3-hour program with Colors TV. It was one of the program on which the message of literacy was not only done by Rotary international people, but people from media, people from politics, people from ministers, right from ministers, a lot of ministers, they came and they advocated the program. So that we are doing. And then we are creating awareness in the society. We are also approaching, the large number of organization where, see, like we are about only 150,000 in India, but the task is reaching 287 million people. So what we are doing, we are kind of making partnership with the organization which have a very large base of followers, are the people who are following that. Like, for example, we have entered into a collaboration for adult literacies with Brahm Kumaris. That is an organization where they have 12 lakh people as their member. And then Ramachandra Mission also we are agreeing. We are also in talk with the Association of Muslim Professionals so that wherever the madrasa they are doing, so they can take up the adult literacy program. And we are also approaching the schools that they should allow the children from class 7th onward till 12th, that they should educate at least one person in the vicinity of their home, so that the safety factor also comes. When a 15, 16-year-old girl is teaching some adult, so the question of her safety also comes. So we are educating. Then in vicinity of their home, if they can teach somebody, it will be a great service to see. And in fact, I will go a step ahead because of now everybody is hearing about Manrega. What I feel is that if government can link this Manrega with adult literacy program, because a million and million of people are getting their wages in Manrega, if we can have at least 15% or 20% success in Manrega, we will be able to address large section of populace of 287 million which are adult illiterate. So that is my take on this.
Thank you, sir, for your insight. So I would quickly move on to Abhishek on the same question that how do you think that this functional literacy could actually contribute towards improving the literacy, the adult literacy?
So, we call our functional literacy program FLIP. So, to squeeze it further. So, about FLIP, we try to take it beyond the basic literacy. Basic literacy is there, everyone needs that, but to be more contemporary, we also incited very critical information on financial and digital literacy, which are also required nowadays for daily operations. So in our case, we have a 90-hour comprehensive content which features basic digital and financial literacy. It's a digital animated content, and uh, its USP, I would say, is the language we have used, transactional language that anyone can understand. It's, bol chal ki aam Hindi bhasha, Hindustani, to be very precise. And we, while developing content, we had a stakeholder consultation also. So the way the content is written or the animations have been presented, it draws the interferences from daily life experience. So it is very interesting, and just to catalyze it and transform it into a movement, we have a strategy called 3I: institution, individual, and industry. So anyone can download it and they can operate it. So now coming to your question, I do agree that in last few years we have India's poverty situation is improving, but problems related to poor health, sanitation, low levels of education, unemployment, and malnutrition, they are remained. So to improve function, how what functional literacy can address in our society, I see functional literacy as an enabler for all other sustainable development goals, and it's a well acknowledged fact also. Plus, to reap the demographic dividend, as Manu said, we need to have literacy. Otherwise, that demographic dividend will be of no use. We cannot employ everyone in Manrega. So we need to harness the full potential of our demography, which is going to last in another 30 years probably. We need to have massive literacy campaigns, and this is also reducing digital divide, income inequality. These literacy programs are encouraging people's participation in economic activities and be a part of all the democratic processes also. So no, they are in a way they are reducing their vulnerability, also dependency, also on a lot of other external factors. Like suppose if I talk about financial literacy, a lot of people in smaller towns pay money for it, those RTGS transfers, those mobile recharges. They are just being charged extra. So having those skills help them to save extra, which that money can be used in their nutritional consumption. So I think these functional literacy programs are very much important in eradicating, or not eradicating, then reducing the inequality in our society. And in Indian context, it become even more important because entire India is not evenly developed. We have some states which are quite underdeveloped, some are developing, some are developed. So this is literacy and education is the only thing which can raise the people's aspiration to be a part of a technologically fueled growth and to participate with full capacity in these all around going development.
Thank you, Abhishek, for your points. So now I will move to Manu, and I would like to know the program which Humana is implementing in terms of functional literacy. What the model is, how do you identify the beneficiaries, the methodologies, and what are the impact you have created as of now when it started, and how the overall thought process behind it.
Thank you, Indranil. In 2017, when we partnered with TCS, so TCS already had developed a ICT-based program on literacy. They developed it in year 2000 in collaboration with SCRT Indore and National Literacy, and it follows the National Literacy Mission guidelines. So it is a very highly interactive. It uses puppet motifs in animated graphics. It has a voiceover, and the program also is combined with a workbook or a primer along with it. Now, we took this program and added a very strong implementation model around it to implement it initially across the 10 districts in 4 Hindi speaking states of Rajasthan, Haryana, Madhya Pradesh, and Uttar Pradesh. And we chose these districts based on the incidence or higher incidence of illiteracy among rural women. So both in terms of percentage and also in terms of absolute count. And what does the program is basically that it delivers. It's a 90-day engagement program for hours of learning through 40 sessions. So there's 40 sessions where there's a prerak or a learning facilitator who engages with 20-25 women in a group, and using this software or which is delivered on a laptop, so making the class mobile rather than setting up a static center where women would not come. We took it directly to the women, identified say 20-25 women in a radius of 250 to 300 meters within a village, and the classes were held uh, in places like a courtyard of a house or a temple or a mosque or Gram Panchayat Bhavan or school building, even under a tree. Secondly, the timings of the classes was pretty flexible. So some of the classes in some places it began early as 7, some were held at 10 a.m., 10 p.m. in the night as well, depending upon the availability of women. Rather than making it like, very school oriented learning, as say when a child is attending school, it was different in delivery when it came to adult women. Secondly, secondly, in terms when you talk about identification of women, uh, using government data or data from blocks, once we had identified blocks based on the literacy data, we identified villages which has a higher number of women who are illiterate. And eventually the idea is to take all the villages per se in the district. So till now we have implemented this program in roughly around 1,300 villages across these 10 districts. The way the program is implemented is that it is, as I said, that it is delivered using a prerak. So prerak becomes, or a learning
No, I think your network is not. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I would. Yeah, now you can be seen. Yeah. So, Manu. Yeah. Now you're audible. Perfect.
yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. And so uh, by doing so, the prerak is able to mobilize the women to come attend the classes. B, there's a big interest among women as well. So when we first started the program, it was meant for women belonging to in the age group of 18 to 50 years. Within the first 15 days, there was so much interest of women across ages that we removed the upper age limit. So the eldest learner from our program became a 96-year-old woman. And in some of the pockets, like say we work in Nu as well, we also included girls between 14 to 18 years of age group who had dropped their education at grade 1, grade 2 because of the social conditions there. So we included them as well into the program, and many of them later on they went ahead to like appear grade 8 or grade 10 exams through NIOS as well. Secondly, so in the program, the idea is that over 90 days period, women are able to identify the 52 alphabets of the Hindi Varnamala, which is so the learning does not start from Kakha Gagha as a child would learn, but it starts at a level. It starts basically with a chapter like Mase Makan, where there's a familiarity of words. So women already have a vocabulary as compared to child. Therefore, the learning is also developed in a way that using their already the knowledge that they have from the life is utilized in developing a functional literacy program. So they learn 52 alphabets. They learn to form sentences, and I read the words as well of a sentence and understand it. They already know the numbers, so they know ek do teen char panch. They don't know how to identify it. So by end of these 90 days, they are able to identify from 1 to 100. They are able to do basic arithmetic as well, so subtraction, division, which helps them in different transactions as well. And they eventually, over the 3 months period, they also develop a vocabulary of 500 to 700 words that they start using in the program. So these are, and the over 40 lessons. So there are like 7 formative tests, and then there's a summative test which is based on NIOS adult literacy test. We tried to get so many of women also go for the NIOS testing as well. And in the districts, it's not available that 5,000 women appear for this exam at one time. So, we talk to the district administration, we talk to National Literacy Mission, we make sure that this happens. Secondly, so basically over this period of time since 2017, we started on Gandhi Jayanti till end of March before everything went under the lockdown. 1,30,000 women have graduated the program over a period of 2.5, 3 years time. Now, when we talk about functional literacy, so I'll answer part of your other question as well. So adult literacy, even though it's defined as ability to read, write, and have a basic understanding, so functional literacy or kriyatmak saksharta is important, as Abhishek also pointed out, that in order to improve their lives and livelihoods. So just ability to read and write will not help, but if they are able to utilize this literacy to improve their lives, improve their livelihoods, improve their economic conditions, improve their mobility. So there has to be the impact of literacy per se. So the biggest impact among women functional literacy program is a rise in dignity, right from the word go, which is very important. So there's a increase in self-confidence, self-esteem, self-worth, awareness about rights, which basically starts which is like creates a dominoes effect when it comes to development. There's a improvement in mobility of women. So whether it is going to the market because there's a self-confidence, whether it is going to the banks. Now you all would have a slip or a deposit slip, and women actually lose a lot of money through these transactions because not everyone is honest, and women have often complained that they have lost a lot of money because of it. When she's able to fill withdrawal slip form, not just draw her name at the end of a transaction slip, but understand the financial transactions. That is empowerment. That is one of the bigger impacts of functional literacy. Another one is her participation within the community. Again, like it improves the entire
I think Manu's network is not stable at the moment.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Yeah. So
participation in democratic processes is when in the first 1 lakh women said that their incomes have improved. They are able to manage their household economies better. There's another big impact for doing this program has been that their household economy. There has been an increase in social cohesiveness or decrease in or breaking of caste barriers and barriers of class in villages that we have witnessed. So in many of the development programs, especially when we were, say, working on a livelihood or SCG promotion, it's very sad to say, but there have been caste-specific SHGs. There are still caste-specific SHGs across India. Literacy has broken this barrier as well because there's an awareness, there's a acceptance that comes among the women in a peer group. So that's one of the major impacts. And then it also generates, so it's a lifelong knowledge. There's an economic freedom. There's this whole sense of respect for oneself and the others as well, and within her family as well. So from being having this living with the stigma of kala akshar bhais barabar to being lettered is one of the bigger gifts that a woman can have in her life. So that the impact has been both transformational and transgenerational as well. As I mentioned, that like this literacy program did not have a age barrier, so in a same class, we could see that there's 80-year-old girl who is attending a program and a 90-year-old woman is also attending a program, you know. So, and literacy has uses across all ages as well. The one of the bigger things that we witnessed, that women who attended the program or graduated from the program, there were at least 10,000 children were mainstreamed by these women themselves. They were out of school, either enrolled or not attending the school. So these women, after graduating the program, it was not an intended benefit of a, direct benefit of the program, but it happened that these women themselves, they not only enrolled their children back into school and saw that they are attending school, but also actively participated in their education as well. So we are solving the next, the problem of out of school children of the next generation as well, which is very important. And therefore it is transgenerational in nature as well. So there's like, I have 130,000 examples of change or stories of change. And so be it. So I'll give you one example which everyone can relate to. So prior to attending the functional literacy program, a woman could only use the red and the green button of a mobile phone. Post program, she was also using the digit pad of a phone, able to read a message in Hindi, you know. So when we are talking about the digital revolution in India, and Abhishek also pointed out, there's a mega divide. There's a rural and urban digital divide that is there, and access. Even if a woman has an access to a smartphone in her home, I mean, it is useless. The screen is useless for her because it's just the green and red button. So ability to use a phone and ability to dial a number rather than going and asking someone to dial a number, that is one big, like one big functional impact of the program. Another thing is reading or understanding a currency note. Now women have all illiterate women understand a currency note by its color, not by the digits on the note, and therefore there's a lot of issues in transactions as well. So post demonetization, when new currency notes came, they could not understand, they could not actually identify the value of the currency note if not being literate, or if they do not had the numeric skills per se. So that's one of the major also big impact which they can use directly in their lives, like in an everyday life. All grocery store, or most of the grocery stores in villages, do not no longer use the block for weight. It's a digital scale, and they could now actually read the digital scale and make a transaction. So there are many skilling programs which require a woman to be, lettered. So they could attend that, or they, without even programmatic support, we have witnessed that like thousands of women have improved their income who have either gone for a skilling program, started a business, or expanded their income generating activities, directly improving their own lives and the life of the community as well. So it does have functional literacy. I mean, since we did it for women, but across, like, so for men and women, it can bring about a local economic revolution or a social revolution. It does have the power to bring that change. And then yes, then the dividends of literacy can be seen as a multiplier effect, will have a multiplier effect in any development interventions that are being rolled out. So this has been our experience with the functional literacy program. We do hope to, continue building upon it and grow the program over the years to come.
Right, right. Thank you, Manu. Thank you, Manu. It is really a great methodology of the program is really great, and whatever the impact means, it's a great thing. So I also have a small story to share, because we the nonprofit where I work, we run few financial literacy centers where we actually train the rural woman how to transact money, how to write a withdrawal slip, how to write a deposit slip, and how to fill a check, how to use a ATM card. So there we have seen that whenever we have try to link anyone with the entitlement schemes with which government have. So they learn from us. They are going to their family and they are trying to explain their husband that we should enroll under this scheme. But when we go for the feedback analysis and when we do the feedback analysis and review of the program, we have seen that after that means it has been dropped out. Means the idea dropped out, and she couldn't have convinced her husband to enroll under that scheme. And this is basically the gap of illiteracy, and this can only be bridged through the functional literacy and the elementary education provided to these people, because they haven't been went to school, they haven't been tried to make themselves literate and this kind of stuff. So thank you, Manu. Means we are on the same line, and we think that only this kind of functional literacy program can bridge this gap. So I would like to come to Ramesh sir. If you could just brief us what the Rotary Literacy India mission do, and how you implement, and what are the impact you have created.
See, our model, which we have developed, is with the help of two primers, as I told you earlier. One is in which we have given the basic. In fact, as Mr. Mayank also said, that the vocabulary as far as them is concerned for the adult, it is different. They already know what is a bus. They already know what is a makan. So in that we have used the same terminology. The first word will be, the picture of a batak, and then it will be something. So the two words they make it this thing. So those two words, those two primers, within a 45 days with 1 hour of teaching, makes a person functionally literate. And he is, in fact, we have seen that large number of them, they have been able to clear even NOIS exam. Our model is tried and tested. We have done about 80,750 people who have passed out. In fact, now we are requesting government if they can allow the school student, if they are given some mark under SUPW, that is socially useful productive work, we have to encourage children. And we have seen the children, once they start teaching adult, their own appreciation about their teacher also increases. So this is a high impact model, and we have found it to be very, very effective.
Thank you, sir, for your thing. So I would like to hear from you that how functional literacy is also aligned with gender equality, and how functional literacy could solve the challenges of gender equality that India is facing, the rural India basically.
This is a very tough question to answer, because for centuries they have been subjugated like anything. Now, once they left, like even Manu Mayank also said, that when they came forward, they learned the functional literacy. They could not, persuade their own menfolk to join the program, because somewhere the gender bias came. That's why they didn't come. Otherwise, if somebody is able to fill a bank slip, or if he is able to book a railway ticket, or if she is able to book a bus ticket, that should in fact encourage. So what we are planning to do is that we are going into villages with our RCC model, and we try to persuade the men folk that they must, because it's our belief, in fact that is what we say, if a man is educated, if a boy is educated, you are only educating a one person. But when you are educating a girl, you are educating two families, not only one girl, but two families. One where the girl is born, she is there, and the second family which will benefit from her is that where she will go and get married. And we have seen, it's our own practical experience. during our Polio Plus campaign, that girls who were educated, their children, they fall lesser time they fall sick. So if they fall lesser time they fall sick, what happens? There they have got more disposable income because it is not going to be. So these are the certain methods which we keep on kind of addressing over and over again. As they say, a change of human behavior is one of the toughest things. Very simple thing, if you are used to seeing on a wall clock time at a particular place, if you shift it from here to another place, it has been scientifically proved you will at least see 26 times again onto the same point, and then you will see the other point. So I know it is a difficult task, but we are into it. I would like all others also to work on this so that our this 287 million adult illiterate, out of which mostly they are women, they come out of this scourge of poverty.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. It was really a good explanation of my question. So I would like to move to Abhishek now. So if you could just brief us on the FLEET program which India at 75 implements, and how is it different, and what are the unique thing about it, and how do you integrate the digital literacy, financial literacy, and uh, other basic functional literacy along with your program, in your program?
Yeah, yeah. So sorry, I dropped out because there's a power problem, so Wi-Fi was gone, and so it took me some time while I was off. And sorry for all the trouble. And if you called out my name in between, so our flip program, since from the very beginning we had been very clear that we have to design a curriculum which delivers the most useful knowledge in the minimum duration of time. Hello.
Yeah,
Okay.
you are audible, Abhishek.
Hello.
Mm.
Okay. So since beginning, we were very clear that we have to design a program which delivers everything in the minimum time duration, and we also had to be very cautious in finalizing the content, that what we are delivering to them, whether it is useful for the community. So first, we did a couple of steps in the beginning. So we have a baseline assessment before anyone joins or enrolls for the course. So basis that score, we group them across different levels of our functional literacy, so that the person have that knowledge in the minimum time duration and which he thinks will be the most useful for him. Second,
Abhishek got disconnected.
Actually, Mr.
Yeah,
Manu Mayank also is logged in from two devices, so that can
right,
cause
right,
problem.
right.
hello. I think
Yeah,
I
Abhishek,
will.
you are not
Am I,
audible rightly.
yeah,
Yeah,
but I am not audible. But
now you are. Now you are.
okay, internet should have. So yes, just to explain our program. So we also have feedback from each our beneficiary, so
Not,
that we
not,
also
not,
No,
have a
Abhishek,
clearly.
not audible, not audible.
you are not audible.
Okay,
Yeah. So
but it's audible now.
Yeah, now it
now
is
you
good.
are. Now you are. Yeah.
Okay, so just to upgrade our knowledge content with contemporary knowledge, we also take participant feedback, periodic feedback, and we keep on continuously feeding us into the content so that the content remains relevant and delivers the intended outcomes to the participants and meets their expectations in minimum time duration. So those are the things which we try to do uniquely in our functional literacy program. To answer your question, please ask it again. I was not able to hear you rightly because of internet issue. If something has been unanswered.
Yeah, so actually, my question was that how do Flip program do integrate the digital literacy, the functional literacy, as well as the financial literacy? Means how they're interconnected between them, and how it is maximizing the impact of whatever you are doing.
Okay. So to answer your question, suppose we are talking about ITGS in financial literacy, that how you can do an online ITGS transfer. So it can only happen if the person has the basic literacy and the ability to recognize alphabets, as Manu was saying, going beyond green and red mobile button. And to have that, they have to have understanding of digital literacy. So this is how we have drawn linkages. And this is how the union of these three make a person completely functional to operate in the today's times and to ease off their daily hassles. So this is how we have synthesized visualizing the need at all the ends.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Abhishek, for your insight. I think Manu, you are connected from two devices.
No, for me it's only one, but I don't know
Okay, no
why.
issues, no
Yeah.
issues. Yeah. So my the other question is what could be means we are at the end of the session, and before answering the questions which came out to us. What should be the way forward from the government perspective or from your organization perspective, you to consider to increase the level of engagement with the beneficiaries or the advocacy with the stakeholders, and how it could maximize the impact? You are doing already an exceptional work, but how could it be maximized, and how government can add a value to your program? Means what should be the way forward you see?
Uh, Thank you,
Yes.
Indranil.
Yeah.
So one of the impact that we discovered was not only while we worked with 130,000 women till now, but once being literate, they have been making their illiterate husbands, father-in-laws, fathers, others as well in their family or in the vicinity as well. They are making them functionally literate or using the same primers they have been
Manu's network is not stable. Hello, am I audible to everyone?
economic or financial terms is very high as well. The program is designed in a way that each of the chapters also talk about in of development process. So
Yeah, I think my network was
one
also
is
disturbing.
learning.
I think if he can stop video, probably he'll be more audible.
She's also
Yeah,
learning
yeah.
about swasthya. Or
Yeah,
when
that would be that would
so
be
there
better.
income and like components of financial, and even though learning about organic agriculture. So financial literacy is also built in. Hello, am
Yeah,
I
yeah,
audible, Indranil?
yeah. You are audible, but sometimes it's the sound is getting cracked.
Yeah, it's just this is the 100 Mbps network. Imagine. So
This is, what we were talking about, digital divide. I mean, imagine the situations in other parts, remote parts of our country.
yeah, there's no network. So like in many places there's no network.
No
So
network.
uh, So the way forward is more collaboration. It has to have an active program from the central government as well, um, and new models of development or new models of providing functional literacy has to be brought in or taken in consideration while doing it. So in order to maximize the entire outcome areas and also reach the larger numbers. So as I mentioned earlier, also it's important. I mean, I would like to see India achieving 100% women literacy, and men can catch up. From 82%, as Sir Ramesh sir also mentioned that while making a woman literate, it's basically two families we are making literate, and she ensures that her children are attending school. So collaboration between different non-profits, collaboration from the government or support from the government and CSR is the way forward in achieving larger numbers. And be it directly implementation or, as Ramesh sir mentioned, through different larger bodies adopting the program, and this being integrated in different development programs becomes the key for making people functionally literate, so that I mean the overall development can take place. So I'm hopeful that it does happen in
Yeah,
coming
yeah, yeah.
years.
All collectively hope for the same.
Yes.
Yeah, so I would like to move to Ramesh sir. What will be your insights in this question? How do you see that? How should government come and create some more value addition? And what is the way forward from your perspective?
Uh, Thank you, Indrani. As said by even Mr. Manu Mayang, advocacy with the government is the main thing, because somehow it seems adult literacy is not getting the importance which it should get. No, in fact, our RT under the RTA, education 94.6% is the rate of enrollment for the school. But still, we have about 27 crore adult illiterate. Whatever this number is not reducing. Why? Because the kind of students which you teach, the same number of teachers, the more students come. So the adult literacy is not going unless the government takes up a program in a very earnest manner. And as far as we are concerned, we are approaching corporates, and we're trying to address their CSR funds. And we have now, in fact, full knowledge that most of the corporates would like to invest money in education. And our Rotary Foundation, which we take money on this thing, there is an organization in USA which certifies this thing, which is a charity navigation foundation. So it has given Rotary Foundation 4-star rating for last 10 years. That shows that each and every paisa which is given to Rotary Foundation is utilized for the right purpose. So that is, we are trying to build our own brand so that people invest in our program, so that we are able to take this thing. So we have to see, we have to make inroads into the media, because media is also not giving adequate importance to this thing and the awareness to the society. Unless we tell the advantage, that what are the advantage which will accrue when make people literate, then probably it won't carry. And then I said, as earlier also I said, we are trying to expand horizontally for making collaboration with big organizations. So recently, we are in the almost final stages of our MOU signing with the Bharat Scouts and Guides. There are about 50 lakh Bharat Scouts and Guides in country. And we have, in our deliberation with them, we have come to know that they have a program that if they have to go from one level to another level, they have to make about 30% adult literate. So we are going to lay a lot of emphasis on them, that if not 100%, if 10% of them, if the 5 lakh children also start teaching 30 students per year, Now you can see the number which can save. So that is what we are trying. We have collaboration with the Ramchandra Mission also, where again we are trying to have a collaboration with Radha Soni Satsang. Uh, these are the organization where their guru or their this thing. If he says that you have to teach one adult, it will be implemented. So we our approach is that wherever it is possible, where we can advocate people that they should do this thing, we are trying our best. And in fact, our proposal with the government is pending that they should allow some percentage of marks for their SUPUW activity if a student makes one adult literate. So these are the programs. If implemented, I think we are open to join with any collaboration with any organization which is in this field of adult literacy, because we have 4,000 club and our reach is pan India. Our reach is pan India. It is in hills, it is in deserts, it's in Tarai region. Everywhere we have a Rotary club, and they are fully charged to take up adult literacy.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for your great feedback. And please do apologize me because my video I can't on my video due to low network connectivity.
No problem.
Yeah, so I would like to come to Abhishek. That what should be the way forward, and how do you see that government should come forward and think more actively towards the functional literacy programs?
Yeah, so most of the points about collaboration and all these things have been spoken at length by esteemed panelists. So government intervention is very much required. The government needs to create a platform where all of us can meet and share our insights and share our content per se, because everyone is doing it, but how best are we doing that, how best is our content, that also needs to be seen. Everyone, we cannot go with two definitions of financial literacy in community. So somewhere we need to standardize that. Second thing, the content upgradation from a programmatic perspective, I would say it is very much required. We have to periodically upgrade it, because if you talk about government schemes in financial literacy and digital literacy, suppose how to apply for Aadhaar card, passport, and all those e-services, then they keep on changing, and in every states they have probably different kind of functionality in their portal. So that is the most important part which we keep on doing. It has to be in a way that we collectively share our feedback, share our knowledge, and feed it into our content. Second thing which Ramesh sir was rightly mentioning, I would like to give it a word: each one teach one. Each one of us should target to teach minimum one person in our vicinity, and it's a very right appropriate strategy by Rotary India, that if somehow it could be accommodated in academic curriculum of students, school students in particular, that would be a great achievement. And community ownership should be there. And my third point would be to address issue of that scale. Whatever program we design or whatever collaboration we forge, we must see that it requires minimum infrastructure, because already we have so dearth of infrastructure in across length and breadth of country, in Chhattisgarh, Bengal, Assam, Bihar, UP. The school education is also suffering a lot because of infrastructure constraints. So that is the thing of paramount importance. Every program design should require minimum infrastructure, in my opinion. So that is from my side.
Yeah, thank you, Abhishek. Hope this overall concept and the question answering session with the panelist went very well. And now we have chosen few questions to be addressed. So I would request my panelists to address these. So first, the question has came from Francis. So he's asking that the education programs you speak is so good to hear, but the rural folk of Jharkhand in the districts of Garhwa, Latehar, still have no literacy, no roads, no contact with others. People live are mostly primitive tribes and endangered tribes like Korwa, Asars, Nagasia. How can you help such people? So I would like to throw this question to Ramesh sir, because as a Rotary India Literacy Mission is there in every corner of the country, so how can Rotary come forward and address the thing?
So this question is in, I'll take it in two parts. One part is infrastructure development. So as far as infrastructural development, our part is advocacy. We can tell the government, we can persuade the government, we can just think that is what part we are, as it is, we are trying. And as far as this thing is concerned, another thing I would like to add here is that our book which we have developed, we have all got it translated into about 10 different language. Our version is ready for Tamil, ready for Gurmukhi, Kannada, Telugu, Assamese, Bangla, Urdu, all these languages will be there. So it will be easier for them once we start this our program. One will be able to have reach on those programs. But as far as the government infrastructure is concerned, we can only play a role as an advocacy, and that we are doing.
Francis is asking another question in line to this one. He is asking that infrastructure they will give, but how can Rotary help us?
Yeah. I think you can give him my number. Here it will be difficult to discuss totally. So
Yeah.
we'll be able to communicate with each other. You can give him my email, and I will share the greater detail, find out what all areas are inside. There we can reach those areas. We have our people in Jharkhand and the area. We have Rotarians there, and other than Rotarians, our our partner which we have signed MOUs. Like I said, the Brahma Kumaris, our Association of Muslim Professionals, Bharat Ramakrishna. If we don't have, they would have some approach there in that area.
Great. So thank you for your.
Indranil, I would just like to add
Sure,
to
sure,
what Ramesh
sure.
has said, and to Francis, that the program that we have been doing in all these 10 districts, now we have further extended it to Latehar and Lohardaga districts of Jharkhand, where we'll work with women on the women adult literacy or women functional literacy program as well. Also, there's a bigger World Bank program that is now being implemented in Jharkhand. And Francis, you would have heard of the Jaswini program as well, which is working with, which is all inclusive of girls for 14 to 24, but it works with the entire community as a whole, irrespective of whether they are from AA communities or not. That program is also meant to promote the not just literacy but education, skilling among the communities in Jharkhand. It's this program is being implemented all across Jharkhand. We are also implementing the program in 8 districts of Jharkhand, and we hope that in coming years as well, more of both functional literacy but also skilling and more economic development programs can come in Jharkhand, and make it a more developed place in terms of the communities are concerned, and especially the underserved and underdeveloped communities are concerned.
Yeah, thank you, Manu, for the answer. So, on this question, I would like to link with Abhishek because, moreover, the FLEET programs provide the digitized content to various non-profit organizations, and they can utilize those, and they could train the trainer and followed by the beneficiaries. So, if you could add some points for Francis here.
Yeah, so Francis, I will share website link with Mr. Indranil. You can easily download that content. It has everything. It is very holistic content from literacy to digital to financial aspect. Plus, health and nutrition component also. It also has a trainer guide which will guide you, help you to navigate throughout the content. It also has a lot of small videos you can use to sensitize community that how this is going to help in dealing with their daily need. So it can be easily downloaded. I will surely circulate the links with the help of Indranil.
Yeah. Thank you, Abhishek. So the next question comes from Arvind Kumar, and this is addressed to Manu. And he's asking that do we involve people from the same strata who have been benighted from literacy programs to bring folks who are at disadvantageous position? I think bringing folks like this will aid tremendously.
Can you repeat part of
Yeah,
your question
yeah,
because
yeah. So he's asking that do we involve people from same strata who have been benighted from literacy programs to bring folks who are at disadvantageous position? I think bringing folks like this will aid tremendously.
yes, so the program that we have been doing is all inclusive. It does not divide people or based on class, caste, or economic status per se when we enter a village. So if we take, of course, we do give preference. So suppose there are 200 women who are illiterate in a village, and when we are entering a village, the first preference is given to women belonging to the A community or belonging to the marginalized communities or women who are vulnerable per se. So we do a baseline and a ranking in every village that we go and make it all inclusive. So the idea is to also break the barriers to promote social cohesion, more bring make it more inclusive in nature, and therefore it is not specifically meant for anyone belonging to a particular class or community, but the idea is that we kind of saturate the village and then move to the next. So all women, irrespective of the class, community, like benefit from the program. Since we also work a lot with motivating or counseling the entire family members as well. We also hold village level events so that more inclusive development can take place. So yes, it's all inclusive, and thank you for such a good question.
Yeah, thank you, Manu. So the next question is for Abhishek. Ishani Iyer is asking that how can she participate in flip program?
So, to answer your question and put it in perspective, if you are an individual, you can always download it and deliver it to whoever people you want to in your best, choosing out what kind of information does that person need. And if you are from an NGO or corporate, you can always download it and run it as your CSR program or house it under your existing program just to benefit other people in your ecosystem. So that is how you can do. And if you face any challenges during the download or the content delivery, we are there to handhold you on each step.
Yeah. Thank you, Abhishek, for the answer. So now there is the last question from Utpal Kakati, and this I should open to the panel, and anyone find it suitable can answer. So how does sustainable literacy methods impact the recovery of SHG credit linkage schemes provided by banks in India?
Um, I can attempt this question, Indranil. So when women learn, when there's a numeracy and the ability to make better decisions, manage the household economy or the economy of their livelihoods better, the chances of recovery or the chances of a not getting into a debt trap and b taking a debt which is improving her life or livelihood and regular repayment of loans is more evident among women with functional literacy as compared to SHGs with women who are illiterate. This we also have witnessed through our microfinance programs, and this is like this particular aspect has also been a part of several studies which proves that literate women have a higher, like they return the loans more on time as compared to illiteracy, because it's about ability to manage her economy better in a more prudent manner, in a more judicious manner. The decision making is better. Literacy leads to improved income, and therefore the the servicing of loan or managing finances or any financial instrument that she has been using is better as compared to women who are illiterate.
And just to add to the Manu's point, I have also worked a bit in microfinance industry. Literacy is of great help. There are agencies, there are financial institutions offering you product of interest rate starting from 8% to 25%. Or there are many systems where you can prepay, pre-closure charges, prepayment charges. All those things can only be understood by people if they are financially literate. And if they have to realize the importance of CIBIL score. That how once you take the loan and just because of internet connection or communication issues you have not repaid one of your EMI, then no one is ever going to understand that. It will reflect on your statement. So these things are needed to be understood by everyone. You see the Yes Bank's collapse. Now all the educated people lost their money. So everyone needs financial literacy of some aspect, be it me or be it someone sitting in the rural Jharkhand. But basic fundamentals are that you must be able to choose the right financial product for yourself.
I think
And
here
right
also,
institution.
I will also like to add here that literacy has proved to be a game changer. Rotary also has a microfinance program, and I'm saying not even one, repeating, not even one default as far as the microfinance return is concerned. And this is all because of literacy. Because they know the importance of returning money, getting more money, and not even a one failure or default. So
Yeah, I totally agree, sir. In this beneficiary group, we have the lowest rate of defaulters across India.
yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, sir, Ramesh, sir, Abhishek, and Manu, for addressing the questions.
Thank you.
And there were several other questions, but all those relate to Ramesh sir's answer, which is related to infrastructure. So I think that has been auto answered in the webinar. So thank you everyone for joining us today, and we wish all the success to all the program you people are conducting. And there has been a lot of thing to learn how government has uh, 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 added a value to your program, how government need to address the issue, and how you can collaborate with the government. What are the models being implemented at your organizational level, and what are the impact you have created on the society, and how it could develop how it could add some value to India's economy at large. So thank you everyone. Thank you all the participants for joining us today, and we hope that going ahead there will be a lot of collaboration coming up. And I will share Abhishek's email ID and phone number and all the sites, and even the email ID of Ramesh sir and Manu, so that they could be reached. And if there is any further question come to me, I will directly redirect to you all for its address. So thank you everyone for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
thank you,
you. Thank you,
Indranil,
Thank
Indranil.
you.
for
Thank you.
You've been a very good
organizing such a
moderator.
webinar, which was quite relevant in today's times. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. And if any of the questions remain unanswered from my side, you can always email me. I will give a prompt response. Thank you, Ramesh sir. It was
Thank
so
you.
nice to see you after long, and
Pleasure. Oh yes,
good,
pleasure. Same here. Same here.
good to interact with you, Mr. Manu. It was quite a learning experience for me also.
Thank you.
Thank, thank you
Thank
all.
you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you everyone.
Thank you, everyone.